Believe it or not, October is never too early for some residents to begin preparing for the holiday season. Whether it's planning the big holiday decorations or preparing for that severe winter storm, you never can prepare enough when it comes to safety. Joining us to talk about holiday safety is EMS District Chief Jeffrey Hammerstein and Deputy Fire Marshal John Calloway. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Oh. Jeffrey, first, can you tell us some of the most common calls received during the winter weather?
Eric, far and away, slips and falls are the most common thing that we see anytime we get any ice or precipitation out there. Certainly, as you would expect, motor vehicle accidents kind of tend to rack up, and then certainly too some of the exposure to the cold type calls. From
the falls to severe exposure to elements, what are some of the tips you can give to people to try to protect themselves, to try to be proactive?
We know the world can't shut down when we're snowed in and iced down. People still have to get out. They've got things they've got to do. Obviously, that should be minimized if you can, but when you do have to get out, take the time to be careful, plan your steps, know what's in front of you.
John, a family tradition always during the holiday season for many is heading out to get a live tree. There's some safety precautions that must be adhered to as well.
Yes, we hope you obviously have a happy holidays, but we want you to make sure you get a tree that's going to be safe for you. If you have an artificial tree, you want to make sure it's certified and it has the Underwriters Laboratory certification to it. If you're going to use a live tree, you want to make sure that you're getting one that's fresh, that's green, the needles are not falling off. You want to make sure you're using proper water, daily, adding water to the tree. You want to make sure you're using correct lights that match the tree. We do not want to use candles near the trees. We want to make sure that the tree is not in a hallway that you egress out of your house.
Another popular tool during the holiday season, turkey fryers. What are the tips in using turkey fryers that tend to always cause a couple of house fires every year?
Unfortunately, the number one problem we do have with the cooking with the turkey and the grease is splatter, where individuals are going to get burned by the product. But once you're cooking with the product, you need to be away from any combustible items. So this may include your house. You want to be a proper distance away from an area that if there was a fire contained from that cooking process, that it's not going to catch another combustible product on fire. There's a lot of inherent dangers with cooking with this type of technique, and if you are going to use it, you need to follow the directions. You need to make sure you're properly have the right amount of product in when you're cooking with the turkey, and you have to be very careful. That's all you really have to do with this situation.
Obvious scenario in this region of the country, freezing rain outside, but I still want to use my grill, so I'm going to pull my grill into the garage and commence the cooking.
Yeah, it's definitely dangerous, particularly when we're talking about charcoal. It gives off gases that can be harmful or fatal. All grills just have to stay away from the house. And not only the scenario that you mentioned where people are still wanting to cook despite the weather, there have been occasions where people have used charcoal to try to heat their homes. Extremely dangerous, and it simply can't be done because it can be harmful again or fatal to everyone in the house. So they've just got to stay away from the house.
And we're talking now about one of the dangerous gases, carbon monoxide. First, let's talk about some of the symptoms of what could be carbon monoxide exposure.
Sure, and that can be tricky. That's one of the dangerous things about it. Typically, people will start to develop headaches, maybe some crankiness or anxiety even that they don't necessarily understand. It creeps up on you, and that's why it's really, really dangerous. You can be exposed and not be aware of it for quite a while until the point that it starts to become dangerous to you. Certainly a carbon monoxide detector is a cheap, inexpensive, and easy way to keep a monitor on that, and certainly recommended.
Are there any other additional tips, comments you'd like to make about being safe during the upcoming season?
Yes, Eric. I would like to say one thing about the smoke detectors. This is probably the device that saves more lives than any other device that we can have for a safety point. We want to make sure you have a working smoke detector in every house. We recommend them outside the hallway areas or in the bedroom areas. And more importantly, you need to make sure it's functioning and working. You can test them, and every year we would highly recommend that you change the batteries. They're the #1 saving device that we have.
John and Jeffrey, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Thank you.